Oh, it's gonna stay this way. Okay. All right. I think we're good.
Okay, Facebook, I'm so sorry. We had a device overheat. It's super hot. It's 100. It's been 100 plus for the last.
Sorry, guys.
In California. So we have the air conditioning on out here, but it takes a while to cool down.
Yes, we got one person watching on Facebook.
So we're back. I'm sorry if you guys were watching.
Sorry,
on
Brittany.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, so you guys didn't miss anything. I kind of just paused and was talking, but so that was brushing on a coat of satin clear. So I would let this dry. Like I said, I will come back after a few minutes and I'll look and see if it started dripping. If gravity has started taking effect, and I'll brush out any drip marks, any heavy spots. Because while it's wet is the time you want to cure those. You don't want to try to get them out after they're already dry. You can catch them while it's wet. So check on your clear coat every few minutes.
So just real quick, I'm going to apologize to the people on Facebook because we had a phone overheat, which dropped everything. I've never had a phone overheat. It is hot.
It was Sean's piece of garbage.
I don't want to talk about that.
Sean's crappy phone, not mine. Mine's going strong. Woo! Instagram. All right, so let's get to the front of this. So now we've got our clear coat on here. I've got a few finishes I wanted to do with you guys. So I need to put these into a dish of water.
Oh, now you want me to get you a dish of water. Is there anything else I can get you?
Here, you can put that on the tripod.
I can't.
Okay.
Just the way I did it.
If you want to just hang out there, that's cool. I'll
Okay.
wait till we're done there.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm thinking I want to put some black wax on this. What do you guys think? Do you guys get scared of black wax? I use black wax on everything. Everything. Oh, I love it in little bits. I love it in big bits. I love black wax on everything.
Hey, I just love the dedication. You got almost 400 people that decided to come
back.
back.
I'm sorry. We did come back, though. I will always come back. I will always come back.
Wait for it? Yeah.
So I want to put some black wax on this, and I think black wax is going to number one, it's going to tone these colors down a little bit. It's gonna just deepen them a little bit so they're not so bright.
Thanks for calling me out, Jason.
It's also going to get some black into these crevices and just age it a little bit. And I've got a lot of detail around these drawers, so the black wax is going to accentuate that. So one perk of heat in California is my waxes stay really nice and soft, and I love a soft wax. The Dixie Belle waxes are really soft already. So I'm going to use a little brush in this case. I like to use a natural bristle brush. I like to use a natural bristle brush for my waxes. So these are I'll use this one. This one's a little fuller. That one's kind of small for this. These are the Redesign with Prima. These are their natural bristle wax brushes. So I take a natural bristle brush. You can wipe wax on with a rag, but I do prefer to use a brush. And I'm just going to fill my brush. So I filled the tips of my brush, and we have our raised stencil here, so I think you guys are going to start to be able to see this. This has already been clear coated. Now, the reason you want to clear coat first, whether it's clear wax or one of the liquid clear coats, is because we want to wipe this back a little bit. And if you don't clear coat, your paint is unsealed. It's open, and it will absorb whatever you put on top of it.
Let's get the grammars on it here.
Your paint will absorb whatever you put on top of it. So if you put wax over unsealed paint, it's going to be really hard to buff it back. So I do recommend that you seal your paint first, whether it's with a clear coat or a clear wax, and then you put your black wax on. There's our stencil. I told you guys it was there. It's going to go away again because I'm going to buff this out. So with the black wax, let's go ahead and put some on the other drawers too. You want to wait a few minutes and let it set up a little bit. Let it firm up a little bit. Get exposed to the air and it's going to firm up a little bit. About 15 minutes is probably your ideal time.
So just a quick question. So you're doing black wax. What's the difference between doing a black wax and if you threw on some black paint and kind of did the same thing?
That's called a color wash. So you use a thin coat of black paint. That's called a color wash. So a lot of the products are interchangeable. So for example, I put out a video on my page yesterday where I used gray wax on some table legs. For that same look, I could have used gray paint. I could have used gray glaze and gotten a similar look. So sometimes the products are interchangeable. I just really like working with waxes. I really like waxes. I like the softness of them. I like how they go on smooth and a little bit smudgy. I really, really prefer waxes, but this is a time when you can choose the product that you prefer. If you prefer working with the paints, wipe on a wash. Color wash is just a diluted layer of paint. You could use a black glaze, but I'm not going to leave this all over. Right now it looks a little crazy. You guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, she ruined it. Well, here's the good thing. Because my paint is sealed, if I don't like this look, it's a water-based wax. I can come back before it's set up and I can wipe it back off again.
Correct. So everybody that's out there, as far as it being vertical or horizontal, it's vertical because the way the phone is sitting.
Yeah.
On this end.
We had to change our technology out midway through, you guys. So probably have a little bit different camera view. And we're working with what we've got because we lost Sean's phone. It overheated.
Well, thanks for calling me out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Sean's phone. Mine's going strong. Yay, Instagram.
Here, let me cut you out of the picture. You're really getting annoying.
That's fine. I'm used to it. I figure you've been trying to do that for years.
A long time.
So if you put a coat of wax on and you don't like it, you can wipe it back off again because it's on sealed paint. So I always tell you guys, once you have your paint finish going strong, and you like where it is and you want to experiment with other finishes, whether it's a glaze or paint or gilding wax or whatever, seal your paint. And then you can experiment over top and you're not going to ruin that paint finish that you've already fallen in love with.
That black wax makes it look like you got some dirty drawers there.
Yeah, well right now this looks terrible.
I like when you're serious.
And you're not?
And I'm not.
I do have a video titled Dirty Drawers on my... So I usually use just a circular motion and I'm just rubbing it all over. Now this is already sealed. If you're doing this on top of unsealed paint, say with a clear wax, you just want to massage it in until you see the color of your paint start to change. And that's the paint starts absorbing the wax, that's sealing it off. And then after about 15 minutes, you're going to come back and you're going to buff it.
So if you're going to massage the paint in there, what is there a preferential for? Is it Swedish?
Yeah, you want to get your thumbs
like what kind of
like
massage
a
are we
hot
doing?
Stone massage.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
All right. Let me get this over here. You guys freaking out a little bit? Is everybody over there going? So I think that at this point I've done a few hundred pieces, and I don't consider expertise to be that I never make mistakes. I consider it to be that I know how to recover from them when I do, because I make mistakes all the time. But you just have to have the confidence to know, oh, I did this, here's what I need to do to fix it.
And then nobody is watching.
And if you don't know, yeah, and nobody's watching. I don't show this on camera. No, I do. I've made mistakes on camera. Gosh, I can't even count the time.
I usually just make sure I clear the room.
Maybe you guys don't notice, but I notice them. All right, so I feel like I've got a pretty good coat here. I may need to come back and touch up some spots. And then I'm just going to take a rag, and I'm going to start buffing this away.
I would agree, Brittany. If you're doing that, then energy is not spent very well. Massaging dirty drawers.
Yeah. And I'm taking this away, and I want it to stay in the crevices. So I'm not gonna dig. You can leave as much or as little of it on your surface as you want.
Huh. Just cut onto the t-shirt.
This one was already ruined.
Fresh out of the cleaner.
Yeah, this one, Dixie Belle waxes are water-based. I usually don't put my wax rags in my laundry. You can either throw them away or save them to reuse for other wax jobs or Big Mama's butter or whatever. So then you're going to come wipe it back. If you don't break a sweat when you're waxing, you're not doing it right. It does take a little bit of elbow grease to do a full coat of wax. This doesn't even do that justice because I'm waxing sealed paint. But if you try to wax unsealed paint,
now to step back a step, what did you seal it with?
We sealed it with, this has satin
options,
satin clear coat on it. So you can kind of see my raised stencil, but I'm not even done with that. I'm going to bring that out with some.
We're getting there, Peggy.
Where are we getting to?
Dirty drawers. My dirty drawers.
Yes, we're gonna fix these drawers up inside. One of these drawers is a flocked drawer.
Fireball June. There's good money in massaging dirty drawers.
Yeah, this is true. I've seen that episode of Cops.
At some point, you pay the penalty for it, but
yeah, you're gonna get busted. But good for you. Get your money, girl. Okay, so I probably would do a better job of buffing this out if I wasn't on camera. I'm trying to do it a little bit quickly. Like I'll need to pull these drawers out and go around those. But I've got a nice coat of black in my crevices here. And I'm even going to take and show you black gilding wax. I love black gilding wax in my crevices because it's more potent than the
here, let me get in there and get a before and an after. I'm gonna try
I should have left one drawer unwrapped
well,
so you
yeah,
can see, huh?
Not really a thinker.
So I think it just deepens the colors a little bit.
There we go.
If you want a really clean wax job, if you just want to leave it in your crevices, it's super workable right now. I can take and I can clean all this face up. And I can bring these back to the bright colors and then just leave it in the crevices around. That's a look I really like. And then I'm just gonna wipe those faces off again. And that just left my crevices nice and dark.
So if you just want to put waxes in the recesses there, why wax the whole drawer?
You don't have to. I'm just showing you guys a couple different looks. No, you definitely don't have to. So, and then the gilding wax, black gilding wax, where did I just put it? Is a more potent wax. And you can just leave that in your crevices.
And then once you do all of this, do you reseal everything?
Yes, I do. So this is what I would consider decorative waxes. I'm not using waxes for protection right now. I'm using them decoratively. I'm using them to bring out some details on my piece. I'm going to take this wax off really quick so it doesn't set up and make me have to buff it for 3 hours after I get off camera. Same thing with down here. Just going to quickly wipe those off. Once it starts to set up, it gets a little bit harder to buff away. But that's how you make it stay where you want it to stay. Okay, so you can just darken the crevices if you want, and that would be just writing your crevice. I'm using a natural bristle artist brush, again, still a natural bristle brush. And I would just shade those crevices. I even like to then take a clean brush, cleaner, and just soften that line. So it just looks like a little bit of shading around the edges.
A nice little statistical fact. More baby wipes are used on Dixie Belle pieces than on baby bottoms.
Yeah, than on babies, yeah. Huggies makes a fortune off of us. Actually, I think Pampers are probably better. Pampers leave a little bit less lint. That's another statistical fact.
Oh. 4 out of 5 furniture painters use.
Prefer Pampers, but I use Huggies on my babies. Okay, and then you guys, we've got this stencil. I've been telling you since I put it on that you can't really see it. I'm going to take my stencil again. It's raised right now, so I've got texture there, but I want to make it. I'm going to match my stencil back up to how I laid it. And I'm going to make it silver so it stands out. This is the moment you've been waiting for with this stencil. So I'm going to line it up.
All right, Brittany.
Do my pattern underneath. So these are silk screen stencils that I just got at my Joann's store. washed it after I put the Dixie mud over top. It's still got a little bit of stick in it. It's not quite as sticky as it was when I first got it, but these are reusable to a certain extent. And then I'm going to take a brush and find one that's pretty clean. I don't want anything too rough.
Now, for those that are having a hard time seeing, where did you put the black wax?
I put it all over and I wiped it back so it's just in my crevices right now.
All right, drink number 1 going down the hatch. There's a drinking game every time you say crevice.
Okay, I'm going to start saying crevasse. Does that still count? Okay, so I'm just going to take a little tiny artist brush and some silver gilding wax. That's not a good choice. I want something pretty soft.
It's a good thing you only have like 1 or 2 brushes to choose from.
I know, but believe it or not, like I like them all for different things. And I have some that are already pre-ruined from waxes, because waxes are hard on your brushes. That's why I prefer a natural bristle brush for waxing. Wax is hard on your brushes. Don't use your nice Dixie Belle brushes for waxing. Use the Belle brush as a natural bristle brush. That's a Dixie Belle brush. So this is going to take the ridges of that stencil that are already raised above my surface, and now it's going to be raised and it's going to be silver.
Where'd you get that stencil?
Joann's, my local Joann's store. I walked in and was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And I brought it home.
Did you ask for her specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's my girl Joanne at? I didn't go in there for this, but I saw it and was like, oh, I like that design. I think it would look pretty behind some artwork.
Oh man.
What? That one's over.
Oh no, you can read that one later. Good old Fireball June kicking it.
I can always count on her. She's always
love it.
Back. All right, ready? I'm gonna peel this away.
First 1, 2, 3, go.
First, I'm gonna sneak peek it. You get this spot better up here. All right, you guys, is this gonna work or is this gonna be a fail? I'm nervous right now. Oh, the wax didn't go through the stencil.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fail. Super bummed about that.
Can't even look at you right now.
That's most days. So, good to know, silkscreen stencil works with Dixie mud, but my wax did not go through my stencil. Oh, it did in a couple spots and it's really pretty. Maybe I just need to work it a little bit more.
What if you rub it on with your finger?
Yeah, let's try that.
That was Brittany's idea. I gotta give credit where credit's due. But only if it works.
Brittany.
Otherwise, total fail.
Oh, it's better.
Up.
It's definitely better.
Just throwing it out there.
So silk screen has literally a screen, and you have to get whatever your material is to go through the screen. So
Okay, wait a minute.
Gilding wax may just be too thick for...
It's called silk screen. And it has a screen on it.
I know.
One would have never thought.
So paint would probably be better for this. Oh, I'm so bummed.
Throwing a virtual high five to Brittany.
For what, 3 weeks? It's better, but it's still
Hey,
not...
hey. Better is an
I
improvement.
don't want to steal your thunder though, Brittany. It's better, but it's not great. See guys, I have fails on camera too. So let's see.
It's better and it's not great. Does it have a good personality?
Let's see what we can get to make this silver. I know, I did it. I do a lot of this. Sean knows when I try to make things better and in fact make them worse.
Yeah.
It's my gift.
This time it's on camera.
I want this to be silver, dig it. It's going to be silver.
This isn't a 4-hour show, just so you're aware.
It's going to be tonight. We're doing this, guys. Anyone who wants to go get their pajamas on and brush their teeth, go for it. Hey, can I tell you guys something? My paint is sealed. There's nothing I can do at this point that's going to ruin it.
Just doing some scratching.
Stencil onto my leg. I'm trying to clean it so that when I put it back on again.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. I would probably take it over to my sink normally. I'll line it back up again. Oh, we're getting this on here. I'm excited for this thing. It's really pretty. Pretty design. Can we try our moonshine metallics?
It's been thrown out there, I'm just saying.
Moonshine metallics, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, hang on, let me get my...
Or going at it with the plastic applicator.
Oh, like a putty knife, huh? Hang on, I'm gonna grab my moonshine. And some metallic paint, too. Not amongst yourselves, it's gonna take me a minute.
I don't have any good jokes. Not clean ones, anyway.
You never do.
Yep, thanks. Man, all kinds of crazy stuff. Instagram just paused. How exciting.
Alright.
Oh, you're coming back finally.
I know, sorry. My latest thing is I bought new organization shelves for my paint. And so usually it's, you know, how things kind of work themselves out. They organize themselves. Stuff moves to the front. Stuff you don't use moves to the back. That hasn't happened yet.
Bam, bam.
It looks like it's going through the screen better. It's like a little filter.
It's like a screen.
Yeah.
So weird.
Kind of like that. Alright, I'm going to pull a little bit back. It's better work.
Check up on it.
It's smudgy.
Like liquidy?
Yeah. I don't like. I know.
Man.
Kind of bummed.
People are going to start dropping off. You're really letting people down now.
Hey,
4 hours later.
I tried, but you know what? My paint is sealed, so I got nothing to lose.
Hey,
at this point.
it's just to attest that
Why
these things
stop?
happen. You're not going to nail it right out of the gate.
Nope,
So when people get frustrated, everybody gets frustrated. Me, by now, this would end up in the driveway broken into a million pieces.
Okay,
But
I have one more thing I can try. Only my stencil needs to be cleaned really bad.
how about the paste?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking is my, and I'm going to try one of these corner stencils instead.
I mean, I came up with that all on my own. Dana and I.
I have the new, because they're not even released yet, will not be out until this fall, mousse. This fall, the mousse will be loose.
Mousse, hey mousse.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Trying to line up the stencil reasonably good. Although if it was a little bit offset, that would be pretty too.
I think if this doesn't work, what you should do as an applicator is, I have a hammer over there.
Yeah, it's going out to the burn pile. We're not there yet, guys. It's still a pretty piece. This is what you pay me for, right? To experiment for you. Okay, so the Dixie Belle Metallic Mousse is it's thicker than a paint, thinner than a gilding wax. These are not available yet, you guys, so we are trying to not show them, but I'm hoping it's going to save me, and then we will see how great the mousse is. Okay, so
Are we back to picking a brush?
okay, so it's thick. You can see that it doesn't, and it's super highly pigmented. More pigmented than the metallic paints are. I can see it going through the screen.
Not to say it's as cheap looking as tinfoil, but it's got that shine, like a really bright shine to it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I would say it's very comparable to like a liquid leaf product, but it's water-based. So it's easy cleanup too. Or if you've ever used liquid leaf, they're messy and they smell bad. Most are oil-based and they don't clean out of your brushes very well. Alright guys, fingers crossed. It's really sparkly. little spot right here I'm gonna get. Okay.
Wait for it.
Oh, that could work.
Bam.
Yeah, you guys see that?
I don't know how well that's going to show up.
That's one of them.
We're going to try this out. Here, hold on.
It's not super even, but I don't even really care about that. It's really pretty.
You guys pick that up?
That's probably my top contender. I would like to touch up this spot down here, though.
All right. Go ahead and get in our way.
What I'd like to do. So that's a lot of my life, guys, is I spend a lot of time experimenting.
Some pay off, some don't.
Taking off mistakes that I make. Like, I'll have to clean this drawer up a little bit better.
Calling Sean to help.
Yeah, well, that happens a lot with resin stuff. So I like this one the best. This is the Dixie Belle Metallic Mousse. It worked good with the silk screen stencil. That'll get me the silver that I want. Gilding wax does not work with silk screen stencils, but it does work with hardware. So my hardware I cleaned up, and it's this really matte, kind of almost a black is what it cleaned up to. They're just cleaned. I scrubbed and it probably took off the factory finish. So all I'm going to do is take a little bit of my silver gilding wax, and I'm going to hit the high points on my hardware.
Grab another one to sit next to it so we can see the...
Yeah, hang on. Let me get this on and then I'll hold it up.
I will not hang on.
Yeah, wait. You're so impatient. And then we're going to get inside my drawers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
You can't set it up like that.
Children need to leave the room.
Man, oh man.
So I think this looks a little bit like, kind of like wrought iron. Let me show you guys. So that's just a little bit of gilding wax on the high points of my hardware. And then once I have gilding wax that I like on my hardware, I take spray lacquer and I'm going to seal it. They do dry permanent after 24 hours. Just a little clear lacquer on there. And then this
But
hardware,
you're messing up the floor.
oh, this is the only part of my floor that's not messed up is in my staging area, and even that's getting a little. Here's what I figure with my flooring. It's going to have to be something that I can place every few
Karen
years.
says nice earrings.
Yeah, so I like that. I like how it has the dark, and then this is going to be silver. Dang it, it will be silver. So I'll put the gilding wax on.
Looks okay.
Yeah, and that's what that's going to be. Only I'll make the stencil look like this one over here, behind it. So, let's talk about inside of the drawers.
Hello.
I know. So, I do inside my drawers last. And that's because while I'm working on this piece, it's going to consistently get sanding dust inside the drawers, paint dust, whatever, or paint spots, whatever it is that I get inside drawers, it's going to happen while I'm working on it. So I wait until last, and then I will clean my drawers out. Now I usually start by vacuuming my piece. So let me show you guys what my vacuum setup looks like.
Works off of a giant turbine.
So this is just a DeWalt shop vac, and I keep it hooked up. You guys know I have a Surf Prep sanding system. So my Surf Prep sander has a hose on it, and it has, you order a connector that's specific to your vacuum. So usually it's like this. I've got my Surf Prep connected. I can use my sander.
It's not plugged in.
Not plugged in. Okay. It's not plugged in right now. But then I've got my sander. Now and then I keep my vacuum hose just on the back of my vacuum. There's a little bucket back there. And then when I want to swap it out to vacuum, I pull this bad boy out. I pop in my vacuum hose, and now I can vacuum. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to be loud for just a minute so we can work in this drawer.
I'm used to it. You've been talking the whole time.
I will vacuum out my drawer, and then I want to vacuum out the body of my piece. So sometimes they have a dust liner in between the drawers. This one does not. So I would need to take all 3 drawers out and vacuum in between there. And then this is a solid wood drawer box, but they get scratches in them over time. That's not damage, it's just part of the wood. So I take my Big Mama's Butter. Big Mama's Butter gets really soft in the heat. You know how I found that out? Because I was holding it sideways yesterday and I took the lid off and it spilled. Yeah, see, it's liquid in the heat, but I love putting it on when it's soft like this. It's almost like an oil. You can use hemp oil for this. You can use clear wax for this, but I just use my Big Mama's Butter and I'm going to oil this wood. So I like to put it on with a big floppy brush. And when you oil the wood, those scratch marks disappear.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. If you've got like ink marks and stuff in there, you may need to you can try to clean them out. I've had to sand the bottom of drawers before. So I oil my entire wood drawer box. And then I will flip it over and I either oil or I wax my glide too. Because wood rubbing on wood is going to wear those glides down over time. So I oil my glides. And then I'm going to come into the body, and this is a wood drawer glide in here. I'm going to oil that part too. And that just creates a little bit of a barrier.
Getting on in there.
In between the wood and the wood rubbing on each other. I do outside of my box too, so I'll do these drawer sides. It also makes the piece smell good. So I picture when my pieces go into people's homes and when they open those drawers and it looks good and it smells good and it hits on your 5 senses. And then every time that wood rubs on itself, it freshens up that smell a little bit, and so they get a little bit of that orange smell in there. Now, Big Mama's Butter dries really nicely. It's a dry oil, so it will soak into that wood. You can wipe it back a little bit if needed, but it's as simple as that. Let's talk about this top drawer. I'm going to take this piece of hardware off. This top drawer has flocking on it. So gross. I hate.
What's flocking?
You're going to call it a velvet lined drawer. There's nothing velvet about this. It was sprayed in.
What?
It's flocking. How many? I can't.
Like a tree?
Yeah. Yeah, like your Christmas tree. I can't think of a drawer that I've actually seen like sheet velvet in.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't happen. Even old buffets and stuff, when they have the sheet lining, it's felt. This is velvet flocking.
Oh.
So I take a nylon brush and brush my flocking.
So just to be clear, right now you're brushing your drawers.
I'm brushing my drawers.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
And it's going to get all that gunk. I'm sending it down to the bottom of my drawer because then I'm going to vacuum it from the bottom.
As it should.
Oh, I hate flock drawers. So now it's all loosened up. It's not embedded in that fake velvet, and then I can come back and vacuum it. And I've got my brush head on here so I can brush it out as I go too.
I'm gonna need that later.
Okay, the worst thing I've ever had to do, and now it's clean. It's clean. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. It looked disgusting before. The worst thing I've ever had to do is remove flocking from drawers. It will leave a glue residue that is near impossible to get out. Sean has had to help me with that. That's one thing I saw. Sean!
If only you sounded like that.
Yeah, help me. Alright, you guys, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to clean up this drawer here because it's sealed and that's a water-based wax. I can come back and I can clean this off where I put that gilding wax on. I'm going to clean my stencil and get this nice and silver behind. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to spray another clear coat over all of it. Over my decorative waxes, over my silver that I've got. I mean, this part looks really pretty here though. I love that. I really, really do. So, and then I'm going to get pictures posted of this in the next week for you guys. And then you guys will have seen us work on a piece from start to finish, mistakes and not, and you'll see what it looks like when I'm all done with it. Alright, so I've been on for a really long time tonight, but finishing touches are important. Finishing touches are your clear coat, decorative waxes, gilding waxes, and then however you need to treat your drawers, either with your Big Mama's Butter, hemp oil, clear wax, but finish out those drawers. Clean them on the inside, clean inside the body of your piece, wax your glides. All those things are super important. So I'm going to pop off, you guys. Here's what I'd like though. I would like some feedback. Do you guys feel like the start to finish pieces are helpful and you want to do another one together? If so, we can start another one together next week. We'll pick a different look. You know, it could be patina, we could put a transfer on, we did blending on this piece with a raised stencil, so we'll just choose a different type of finish, and we can do another piece start to finish if you guys feel like that's helpful. So give me some feedback on whether you guys like that or do you guys like to pop in and just get bits and pieces of a piece here and there. Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys for sticking around through lots of technical
Thanks for
issues.
coming back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back after we lost a phone tonight. You guys have been awesome. Mishaps happen. I mean, I messed up that stencil and I'm going to go back and fix it. And it's okay. It sucks it happens on camera sometimes, but it's okay. And it's going to be pretty. You'll see in the final picture. So I feel like you guys are just as invested in this piece as I am at this point. So I'll try to get you guys pictures of it pretty soon.
So far, the start to finish is doing...
Start to finish. Okay. Okay. I have others, another side table kind of piece. These are nice because it's a nice size and I can turn it and do different stages on different sizes, like we did the clear coat and then we did waxes on the front tonight. But I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Go paint something. If you have any questions, tag me. My link is at the top of the post. Well, it will be on Facebook, but my link is up there. I always appreciate purchases made through my link. I earn a small percentage of that. You can also go on there and find a retailer near you. So retailers that stock the entire Dixie Belle line of products, and find one near you and you can purchase through there. But if you decide to purchase online, I hope you'll use my link. Have a great weekend. Come back with us next week. We'll start a new piece together.